The moment you make a commitment, the entire universe comes to assist you. Think about that. The moment you make a commitment, then the entire universe comes to assist you. And I want to talk about a few things this morning. I had this wonderful PowerPoint that I'm not going to share with you. Because I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to share a few thoughts. And you know, you guys are to be envied. I really mean this. In many churches. You have the people, you have the resources, you have the commitment, you have a new minister coming with that same commitment, and so you are sitting in a place where you can make an even bigger impact, not only in Tidewater, but in the world. You have that kind of talent here, you have that kind of ability, and you have those kinds of resources. So I want to talk about that a little bit, and some of the maybe key ideas around this idea of what's our destiny, and what is your destiny. And I can't tell you what it is. I wish I could. I can make some guesses, but you're going to determine that, not me. And it will come in the future as you make commitments to make a difference in the world, to transform lives, to see a world, to literally see a world that is spiritually awake. And when you are able to do that, there are certain ways in which you have to be in order for that to happen. And one of the first things I believe is you have to be adaptable. Things are changing so quickly. I mean, I had no idea when I came here how much change there would be. And yet it took place. And you guys have been adaptable to that change, even sometimes when it's painful. And so it's really important that we be adaptable in today's world. I mean, how many people do not have a cell phone here? Shoot. Oh, there we go, right in the back. I knew that. I know better, but I know that, okay? And so, when did it come out? Oh, just a few years back, 2007. I stood in line to get one. I didn't even know what I was getting. You know? But it was the thing to do. And so I ended up getting my cell phone, and it's changed my life. And sometimes it frustrates my life. Right? Yeah. And there's a certain urge when that happens that you feel like you got to answer the person right away. And I would suggest that you not feel that way. I would like to suggest I not feel that way, but it happens. And so usually on Fridays I turn my cell phone off. Okay? Because it's Vicki and myself, Maisie, our dog, and the golf course. Okay? And I play golf with guys who got their cell phones with them, and they're talking between holes, and I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I don't do that. But it's changed our lives in a positive way. It really has. We communicate quicker. We communicate better. And you know, when we stay in spirit, we communicate clearer. And it's in that clearness that we start to understand that we have to be adaptable. We have to be willing to step into change. We have to be willing to step into that which is uncomfortable. I heard a speaker the other night at Johns Hopkins, and he said, in today's world, you have to agree to be comfortable with discomfort. Think about that. To be comfortable with discomfort. It doesn't mean things are going wrong. It may mean that things are going in the right direction. But sometimes when we stay in our cave, which I talked about a couple of weeks ago, when we stay in our cave, we want things like they used to be. We want things to be the way they were. We want to keep them that way. But when we come out of our cave, when we're willing to let go and let Spirit guide and direct us, then what happens is we can be adaptable, and we can be uncomfortable, and we can also make a difference. So adaptability is so important. The second thing that's very important, of course, is commitment. Vicki and I were riding over this morning, and she was telling me a story about our sister-in-law and brother-in-law. My sister, her sister, and my brother-in-law. Well, you know what it is. Anyway, and she was sharing this story, and one of the things she shared with me is that they were called to be missionaries to Taiwan. This is a number of years back. At that time, they were Southern Baptists. They aren't now. They're still ministers, but not part of the Southern Baptist Convention. And anyway, what happened is they decided to pray on it, and pray on it, and pray on it, and see if they were called. And then my sister-in-law said to my brother-in-law, well, what should we do? He said, we should pray on it. She said, while you're praying on it, I'm going to pack because I've made up my mind. Right? Isn't that cool? Yeah. And they went. And it was a great adventure for them. They had to learn speak Taiwanese, whatever it is. And they also became missionaries, and then the weather and the climate just wasn't conducive, so they had to come home. But they spent about 6 years there doing that. They made a commitment. And you know, I don't care what kind of commitment you make. You may make the wrong commitment. The universe will still conspire to assist you. You don't have any control over that, because that's how we're created, because we are connected together to the idea of string theory, and that you and I are connected through energy. And in that energy, we cast out what it is that we need. And the universe provides the resources every time. So my point is there's nothing to fear. And as President Roosevelt said, except fear itself. I was 5 years old when he made that talk, and we listened to it on the radio, and I still remember it. Just those phrases. Now, I'm sure it's been reinforced many years, okay? But I still remember the radio commentary. And that's so true here. I want to share with you, very frankly, that some of the things that holds us back is fear that's not recognized. And that fear comes from experiences that have happened in the church. Experiences that happen in your lives as you've worked together. And so we become fearful because we remember what didn't work. And then in that fear, we hold back from the mission and statement if we're not careful. Now, this is not an accusation, it's just a point. And so as we let go of fear and start to become more adaptable and are willing to make decisions that are uncomfortable, then we move forward. It will work that way every time. I've not had it fail me even when I didn't understand what was happening. It works that way because when you make a commitment, I don't care what commitment is, what's going to happen is the resources, the people, the money, everything will come to you. Can be no other way. And so we are adaptable. And then exploration. In order to find out who we are and to move forward and to be united in that movement forward, we must explore ways to do that. If we're not doing that, we're standing still. And as you know, you're an hour. Vision, mission, need to have feet on it, is what I would say. Those are statements of action, not statements to say on Sunday morning, say, boy, that's really great, I feel good. But instead, it is a statement of action that says, I'm willing to step in and do what's necessary, even though, again, I might be uncomfortable. But I'm committed to that mission. I want to see a world that works for all. I want to see a world that's filled with joy and love and peace. And you know, that happens here on Sunday mornings. That's why we like coming here. And that's good. But we've got to extend it out into the world. And that's exploring new ways in which Unity Renaissance can be a power in not only the Unity movement, but in Tidewater. And you have the resources, the people, to do that. How you do it is through good strategic planning, looking and exploring how do we do that. Areas such as satellite ministry, And there's some wonderful possibilities in that today, especially in small communities, especially in retirement communities. Another thing is you can look at going to where the people are. That's one of the things they're saying today. People aren't going to come to you as much as you need to go to them. So you have things like dinner churches. You have all kinds of unique ideas and ways people are doing church today. There's a church, and I've forgotten where it is, in McDonald's. And what happens, a guy stopped by and got his coffee every morning, and he met some people there. Most of them were prostitutes. And he said, would you guys like to pray together? Just out of the clear blue. And he didn't pray for them to get out of their business. He treated them as they were okay. He treated them as though he loved them and he understood that Christ was in them. And they responded to that. And they said, yeah, nobody's ever prayed with us. And then he created with them a church at McDonald's that packed McDonald's every Sunday morning. That's going to the people who need to hear our message. That's a unique way of thinking and being. And as you do that, what happens is that you feel, I believe, more inspired, you feel more transformed, you feel more in control of your life, and you know that you are loving other people. And you're giving yourself in service to other people. And so we must explore many, many ways in which to get the message out and get outside of ourselves in order to do that. That takes resources. You have them. That takes commitment. I know you have that because I've seen it here. But it takes planning also. And so we have adaptability and we have exploration. The next thing we need to do is be resilient. Because when you talk of what I'm talking about right now, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen that you never suspect. Some of them you rejoice in. Some of you say, what am I doing here? What am I doing? Goodness gracious, this may not work. But we continue to be resilient. And that means we depend on Spirit. We believe that the universe does support us and assist us in all we're doing. It can be no other way. That's the way we're created. That's the way we exist. That's the way that we stand up and are willing, through resilience, to go through the tough times. And there will be at times. But it's okay, because during those tough times we learn. We learn to trust ourselves, to trust the universe, and to trust what unity of Renaissance stands for. And so resilient. Be resilient. Stick with it. Have a plan and move forward. And then there is the idea of prosperity. I love the thought of prosperity. I really do. I've had a positive attitude most of my life. A few days, I haven't. But most of my life, I had a pretty positive attitude. Anyone messing up. And so one of the things is to be and think prosperously. If you have a resource and you need to spend it on something, spend it. If it's a need, a definite need, spend it. Because the universe will bring even more back in. I do believe that. Because you're doing it to create the action necessary so that Unity Renaissance is moving forward and not standing still. You have a prosperity consciousness. I know that. I see the gifts. I see what people have done. I see what you do when you support one another, those who are ill, those who are having a moment in their life. And that means that you are being prosperous in that person's life. But it also means that you're taking charge and allowing that prosperity to move through you. Because you see, prosperity is all about healing. Just money. If I feel prosperous and know that I am prosperous, I can support somebody who may be feeling. Now you know I can sing. Anyway, that can be, somebody who can not be doing well, you can support them because you're thinking positive thoughts for them. You can know that they're going to move through this. because we all do, one way or the other. And however that comes out, whatever happens, is okay. It may hurt. If somebody passes away, that hurts. But overall, we can work through those situations, and we know, because we know that consciousness lives on, that everybody is okay. Everybody is truly okay. And so when we look at this thing about prosperity, we look at ourselves and say, what is prosperity? Is it saving all the money you can save? Is it spending recklessly? What is it? It's more of a belief in yourself. A belief that you have what it takes to move forward and make creative and beautiful plans that will touch the lives and transform lives everywhere you go. Transformation is infectious. You know, people say, well, the Christians, traditional Christians, they have a message, okay? And it's very powerful because it says you're worthless in some cases, and it says that you need Jesus to save you. We all have heard of that probably. Maybe some still believe that. But basically, it is based on unworthiness rather than worthiness. Unity says you can transform your life. You know, that's the same thing as salvation with different words, by the way. Think about that. Because it's saying you are taking the action to save your life. You don't need anybody else. And when you step into that, then all I know is that when I stepped into it, I really needed unity, and it transformed my life, literally. And I felt it, and I knew it. And I felt it strong enough that I cried about it in a moment. But I'm kind of easy about that. I cry kind of easily. But I did. I stepped into it, and I knew it. And I went in a direction in my life I never expected. I never expected to be here doing what I'm doing. And I kind of want to finish by saying, you have all the tools that are necessary to create your destiny. You are your destiny. When Christopher called me to tell me they had chosen me to be and I think the board was there, to be the transitional minister, I about fell into tears. I got to tell you that there were 2 or 3 times when you came up needing ministers that I thought about applying, but it wasn't the right time. It just wasn't the right time. And I've always loved this church. I've always wanted to be a part of it. And thank you for accepting me and allowing me to have this opportunity to be with you. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless. Okay. So let's pray together. How about that? Meditate together. And so just gently close your eyes. And now take a deep breath. I mean a deep breath. Go in. And as you do that, hold it. And now release that breath. Knowing that you have gone within yourself and releasing whatever you do not need and breathing in everything that you do need. Feel yourself in this very moment. Take a moment to feel the joy of being together. Take a moment to feel what you have experienced here at Unity Renaissance. The tugs at your heart, the healing experiences of yourself and others. And just be in the moment as you feel Unity of Renaissance in all its glory. I am because thou art, and thou art because I am. And so it is. Namaste.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your